Boost this
I'm in
because
the
we're
cloud.
live.
But if I don't want to boost it, I don't have boost power.
Boost this.
Oh,
New boost. Who's this?
nice.
Long step, the double jump is the best power up, and that's kind of like a boost.
Yeah, exactly.
True.
Actually,
tend to make you go faster.
Just recently in Apex, because it's the new season that they tweak all the characters a little bit. There's this one character who he can put down a jump pad, and then if you run on it, obviously you get like bounced really high. And they just tweaked it that if you like do a cool slide into it, instead of the same regular arc, now you get like a really long horizontal arc, and that's really fun. The more you know. What's up with you guys? How's the week been?
It's been all right.
Nothing new here, really.
No, I know, Paul, you're still watching WandaVision. We just talked. We're both excited for what's to come.
Yep.
John got scratched by a cat.
Yeah, I got a nice big old gash on my hand. Thanks, Bagel. Good start to the day.
That's how it goes, It's been cold down here. They're finally got some sunlight today, which is nice, but it's been pretty chilly.
Yeah,
especially when you do like an outdoor workout in the mornings and it's like 4 degrees.
Oh yeah, I have that problem all the time.
Yeah, I bet.
Yeah. We got dumped with snow yesterday, so I spent yesterday shoveling basically, and then tomorrow I'm excited because tomorrow we're celebrating the 10-year anniversary of the Runaway Guys.
Congrats! Very cool.
Oh hey, congratulations! Yeah.
Crazy. We've even.
What are you doing? Or is it a secret?
We're gonna do like some multiplayer games, like some Mario Party, some other stuff, but we will see what happens.
Would you rather like celebrate the 10th year?
That's why we're having a Mario Party, because we hate each other and we're gonna end it.
Okay.
That's what
it's been a good run.
That's a Mario Party.
kind of like a cult.
Yeah, that's it. We're done. We're done at this point.
Yeah.
All right, everyone, pick up your controllers now. Yeah, that's Mario Party sucks. 20 playing. Do any of them have online?
No.
How does that work?
Hacking.
Okay. Yeah. Well, which one are you hacking to have it online?
We're using Parsec.
Okay. Right on.
So we have access to 1 through 7, and we'll put up to the viewers which version we play.
Sure.
Which one are you hoping to play?
No real preference, honestly.
If he says it won't come true.
I like 2, but 2 is also the one I played the most growing up, so I'm okay with playing anything other than it.
Sure.
If that makes sense.
I played 3 the most growing up.
I'm so sorry.
I don't know if I played any of the GameCube ones.
The GameCube ones, depending on the GameCube one you're playing, they're all right. I like 7. I played 7 a lot in university.
Is that a GameCube one?
Yeah, 7 had the 8-player mode where basically you got put into teams of 2, and each team held half a controller.
Yeah, that
sounds
fun.
Weird. It was weird, but it was fun.
Yeah. I can't think of a lot of games where I enjoy the like let's split the controller style. Like I know Overcooked offers it if you really wanted to. Honestly, I don't know if I've really even done it.
I mean, it's just a fun challenge mode. It's not like a serious thing,
right?
So, oh yeah.
Yeah.
Sure. Yeah. If you're just being silly with it, for sure. I'm curious. This is there. John, are you picking up the new 3D World on Switch?
Yeah, because I want to see what that Bowser's Fury thing is, because it looked neat from what they showed in the trailer.
Yeah, that's my conundrum. The Bowser's Fury looks really cool, and it sounds pretty cool. I've been hearing a little bit of the preview coverage on it. I don't think it's $60 cool, and I also don't know how big it is.
That's fair. That part I don't know. If you want to wait and see, because I'll probably end up playing that right away. But I have been told apparently you can play it right out of the gate. You don't have to go through 3D World to unlock it.
Right, yeah, it is just like a separate menu option, which is nice for sure. It just seems like so much for however much content it is. And it's like, whoa, wait for a sale. It's a Nintendo game. So at the very most, I might save $20. It's like $8. I might as well just get it when it's exciting and brand new, but I don't know. I feel like if I'm gonna go back and play a Mario game, I should do 3D All Stars, ones that I haven't played for even longer. But I don't know about it. Just sounds so cool. Sounds so cool. What about you, Paul?
Yeah, I already have it ordered or pre-ordered.
Right on. Did you play the Wii U one?
Yeah, it's one of my favorite Mario games, just period.
Okay. There you go. Well, you guys will have to tell me about it. I doubt I'll get it on day one for sure. So
February 12th. Okay, so it's 8 days from now. So
Yeah,
it's next Friday.
week. Yep.
all right, let's do a podcast about Mario and the rest of his friends. This is the Top Down Perspective for February 4th. I'm Sean Booker.
I'm Paul Fleck.
I'm John Wheeler.
Paul, why don't you start us off?
I finished the medium. I only had about 2.5, 3 hours ish left last time we talked, so about the end of it, which is pretty disappointing. I thought it'd be a little bit longer, but finishing that game completely, that game is definitely a cool tech demo and not much gameplay in it. Very much a love letter to Silent Hill without hitting any of the highs Silent Hill games usually hit horror-wise. But I had fun with it. It's totally okay. I would say on a scale of 1 to 10, it's about medium. So it's fine. I don't know really what to say about it. That tech is very good. That's definitely...
Let me tell you.
Mm-hmm.
I finished the medium.
You played through the whole thing?
I did the whole thing.
It's very short, right?
I'm surprised.
I'm surprised. Can we take a minute? That's a
Why did you play
game.
through a horror game? What the hell?
I don't know. I want it. So let me frame this a little better so you can go, okay, I see how he did it. First off, I was watching a Let's Play.
You're in a well-lit room.
Here we
No,
go.
I'm just
Okay.
No, I played it myself. Controllers in my hand. What I did do is turn the volume down to about 10%, so I couldn't hear the spooky noises.
Okay.
I mean,
were
that works.
Were there a lot of spooky noises?
I don't know.
I guess,
I don't know
yeah,
what
I guess
happened.
you're
He
the
had the volume down.
Yeah, you're the wrong person to ask, because the one thing that's supposed to be spooky is the monster that chases you around, and he is hilarious, like unintentionally. It's so fucking stupid hearing.
Which one? There's a few monsters that chase you.
No, there's one monster that the Maw, and he always says stuff like, "Let me wear your skin," and it's just so stupid. Nothing about it is scary.
That sounds hilarious.
It's so fucking funny. Like, nothing about that game is really that scary. Later, there's some, like, good atmospheric shit going on in there, but they never, like, really follow through with it totally. It feels pretty empty and pretty short. Like, it feels like they had a cool tech idea and they cobbled something together and put together a story that kind of ends in a bad way at the end. It just kind of feels like it stops at some... Like, they're at some point like, okay, let's just wrap this up. Who cares? This is just a tech demo anyway. Like, I don't know. It's totally fine. It's just not fully realized, I don't think, is the problem.
I will say, I don't think the whole... So they're trying to do the whole, like, we're rendering it in 2 modes at once.
Yeah.
I almost ask why. I don't feel like it added anything. Like...
Well, it's very cool, but yeah, you could do that again without it.
You do see, like, you get to see your character with 2 different color hair at the same time, and one side of the screen is on fire, and the other one you're in a dark, like, swimming pool or something.
They do basic puzzles with it. It didn't feel like they went full enough even with the puzzles where you could do some back and forth stuff in it.
All right. I mean, at the most, you're doing like, okay, I need to like swap to this side so I can,
yeah,
press this button, swap back so I can now activate this lever that is working. Like if you had just done it like one at a time, I feel like it wouldn't have changed anything. And a lot of the times when you do have the split screen, you need to like hold B to focus on the like one side.
Yeah.
They don't really like do anything with the whole there's 2 at once because you're navigating like the same plane. Like it's like what is the point of this? It's almost like they just said like, oh, we could do that, and no one asked why. Like,
yeah.
Why are we doing that? There's also a weird face graphical glitch on the Xbox Series X.
Okay.
You can just like Google like the medium Xbox Series X, and there's like a Reddit thread where someone posted a great video. I don't know what it is. It happens in cutscenes. It happens during the gameplay. These weird, and they look like just like little glitches, like a little glitch animation, like a black, purple, like a bunch of color will just like flash around the character's face. Happens throughout the whole game. I've never seen this before in a video game.
I'm trying
It's
to
so
find
weird.
it here because I want to see what you're talking about. Okay,
Well, here, you keep going with some of your thoughts. I'll find it since I know what I'm looking for.
I found it actually.
Okay.
So you didn't find it scary at all? Because you were asking me last week, do you think I could play this? And I said it's probably their least scary game that they've done.
Right, which doesn't help me. I haven't played any of their games, but I found it scary. Taking away a lot of the sound was really helpful. Having my girlfriend watching something beside me with the volume on so I could focus on that also helped. So I played this game the way it was meant to be played.
I've never gotten that glitch. I just saw it now. Yeah, it's like it's almost like a weird cyberpunky, like I'm wearing a digital face mask glitch or something every now and then. I've never gotten that.
That's like install this so the cameras can't pick up the facial recognition.
Yeah, exactly. It looks like that sort of thing.
Yeah. Again, yeah, I've never seen this in a video game before. Like I didn't even know what was happening, and it was so consistent throughout the game. I was like, "There's going to be some weird like third act twist where we're actually in the Matrix or something," and this was the hint.
There's
like,
barely a third act, which is disappointing.
I want to say, I think the plot of this game was to some really gross areas, and to the point where it's like, did you really need to go like this explicit with some of this stuff?
They didn't, because it didn't add anything to what the story actually ends up being, and there's a lot of red herrings in there too that kind of just don't matter at some point.
Like, I just don't even agree with like the stance they took at the end. Like, it's kind of gross. I don't know, man.
I don't even remember the stance they took at the end. I just remember being like, oh, so that's how this ends, huh? Okay.
Yeah. I don't know. I did find, yeah, so like I said, I did find it scary. I don't like any sections where I'm being
chased,
like hunted. Well, so there's like, I was about to say chased, but then they're straight up like almost Uncharted, like running towards the camera down a hallway that
actually, the first time that happens, I died because I ran into the monster because I didn't realize which way they wanted me to run.
Yeah, no, first time it happened as well. Yeah, so there are pretty much points where it's like you got to run as fast as you can down hallway, and then there are other times where it's like hunting you. And I don't like that one because then I'm just constantly on edge.
Sure.
But turning all the sounds off so that you can't hear like the weird groans or like jump scares no longer become a thing, because since the volume doesn't get that high, them like blasting you with sound for no good reason other than to scare you doesn't really happen. So I made my way through it.
To be fair, it doesn't really happen anyway. This is one of the least jump scary games I played in a while.
I mean, there are a couple, but like I said,
there's a few.
It was able to pass through. There's not a ton.
Yeah, there's a few.
I will say though, they're really good at rendering a forest. That forest looked great, and I'm sure working on the Blair Witch,
it's obviously really Blair Witch tech. Yep.
trees and stuff. Yeah. So anytime I was like not building, I was like, wow, this place looks great. And then they would zoom in on the character, and I'm like, oh, this character doesn't look very good.
Yeah,
go back to the forest.
I got some weird Jessie from Control vibes with just how she's dressed, but like the Jessie that you would get from Wish.com order, or whatever. just like a little off brand. Like Alibaba. Yeah, exactly.
Take like 3 months to show up, but it was really cheap, so I'm willing to wait.
It was $1 Jessie, so yeah.
Exactly, yeah.
Sure.
Yeah.
There's some cool ideas in there. I will say, like, I'm not going to get into spoilerish stuff because I think people that like horror games, and especially atmospheric horror that like Silent Hill games do, you should probably check this out, especially if you have Game Pass. So there's like no reason not to. I was surprised that the story breadcrumbs into something big, but not really, because it ends on something really, really small and personal, and I found that kind of odd as well. I don't know. That story's weird. I still think it's fine for what it's worth. I think like people that like horror games should try it at least and take a look at what they do in it.
Being on Game Pass, I think you should try anything.
Yeah.
Talking from like this is the first. This is like the first next gen Xbox exclusive. Is that right?
Yep, it is.
Yeah. So it doesn't support smart resume.
Oh, that's
You know,
weird.
one of the like the system selling features
Yeah.
for the Xbox, it just doesn't support that. Which I was like,
how did it run
what?
for you? Because like I've kind of gone over my problems. PC's hard. Everybody that has different systems will have different problems. Even people with the exact same system will have different problems. I had weird stuttering every now and then, specifically in cutscenes. It would like take a moment to load. I think it might be something to do with how Game Pass handles games on a secondary hard drive, though. So, like, because I get that problem with a few games, and the more intensive they are, the worse it is. I didn't get any crashes or anything though, which is kind of nice.
No crashes. I got the face glitches that I mentioned, and just a lot of texture popping.
Yeah, I got a lot of popping as well. That's for sure.
I will say this game uses the rumble more aggressively than any game I have come across. Like to the point
Okay.
where, and maybe it was accentuated because I had the volume down, but like my girlfriend on another couch, I was like, "Can you hear this controller right now?"
Mm.
She's like, "Yeah." Like it was just go off and just like there is so much rumble, and it's like at 100% as hard as it can get so many times. Um, some of it's supposed to be like your heartbeat, some of it's supposed to be like spooky steps because the guy's nearby, but like holy smokes, they just really it was a loud rumble on that controller. So
Yeah.
yeah, that's it.
That's
That's it for you then.
that's all I've played. Yeah.
All right, John, what have you been playing?
I finished up Touhou Spell Bubble,
Nice.
or so I thought. I
Oh.
thought. Turns out, when you beat the main story, and the main story's got like 22 chapters to it, 22 battles. Another story unlocks, and that starts 2 difficulty levels above where the main story ends,
Okay.
and it's difficult.
Oh,
Because
okay.
they change your character on you, so you have different abilities, and it's just brutal in difficulty. So I got stuck and then just stopped playing because I literally couldn't make any progress. So I will go back to that at some point maybe, but holy shit, has that kicked my ass up to this point.
It seems apropos for a Toho game, though, right?
Yeah,
At some point,
Very,
kick
I
the shit
posted
out
on
of you.
Twitter that it happened, and everyone's like, "Welcome to Touhou." I'm like, "Yeah, I know."
Yeah, so it seems appropriate at least.
Yeah,
Still enjoying that music,
yeah,
though?
that's pretty much. Yeah, the music's great. But man, like there's like 30 songs unlocked out of the gate, and you can buy another 30 in the game with currency.
Yeah.
But you get enough for one song after like 3 to 4 matches in game. So I've only got like a couple unlocked. But beating the main story gave me enough for 5 songs, I think it was.
Okay.
So like
That's
I've got
cool.
like maybe still another 15 to unlock at minimum. And then there's the actual like spell cards your characters can use also cost extra currency. So it's like it's gonna take forever to unlock everything in this. But
Yeah.
but you get currency win or lose a story mode match. So I guess like no matter what, like I still as long as I keep trying to beat story mode, I'll probably unlock everything.
As long as you play, you'll get something out of it, sort of
Yeah,
thing. I like that.
exactly.
Yeah. Cool.
But yeah, that's all I've been playing. I mean, I finished Cyber Shadow, but we'll talk about that for Top Down Plus at some point.
Oh, I was going to ask you actually. Did you end up finishing Metroid Prime? Right, that's your game this month?
I'm still doing that for game clearing right now.
Oh, okay. I was just wondering
Yeah,
what your progress was.
I'm at 42% game clearance right now, and we've got over 50% of the scans. We started the stream with us getting roughly about 50%. So we've
Okay, cool.
I still have one more beam to get and one more visor to get if you want a sense of progress. And I've only got
Gotcha.
2 of the 12 MacGuffins.
Gotcha. Okay, cool. Just curious.
Yep, that's all I'm playing. Sean.
Right on. I've tried out Destruction All Stars because that is now on PlayStation Plus for
Right.
PS5 owners.
Yeah.
This was supposed to be a launch title. They were going to charge full $70 for it.
Oh
At
man.
the last second, they pushed it back and swapped it with Bug Snacks. This game's fine. It's pretty easy to get like turned off from it since it looks like Fortnite. The
Yeah.
color scheme is Fortnite. The characters look like Fortnite. You unlock dances. Everybody's dancing around, whether they're on a top of a car or not on top of a car. Anyways, the game though, so it's like a derby game. You're in cars. You're smashing up with each other. There's like 16 players in the arena. But you can also get out of the car, and you have to get out of the car when your car gets destroyed. So there'll be human characters running around the field, or not the field, the arena, that they can get run over. So you have like a dodge mechanic in there. You can also jump onto enemy cars and try to take them or destroy them. And the way you do that is if you jump onto someone's car, you have like a quick time event mini game to play, and you have to do it faster, and they have to like wiggle the left stick, and each of you have like a meter to fill.
Okay.
Whoever does it basically gets the car.
Okay.
There will also be just other cars that will spawn around the environment on platforms that you jump up to, and you can get another car. There's also shards, which are basically like they give you like, I don't know, energy or something. Once your meter fills, you can summon your like ultimate car, and every character is different. So everyone has like a special ability, and then like a special car that has a special ability. So that's kind of where the dynamic comes in. So like one of the cars like will turn invisible, so you can line up your shots. By shots, I mean you crashing into someone's car better. Another one will like shoot fire behind you, so if anyone drives to that, you can light other people on fire.
Okay.
I've only played a couple online multiplayer matches, and I have not seen anything that would even point towards, hey, as a team, let's use our ultimate attacks together and pull off like a real cool combo.
Yeah.
It just seems like there's way too much chaos, and everyone's just like ramming into whatever they want as much as they can.
Is this the next Onrush that has potential but isn't, like, it's gonna die within a month? So no, it's never gonna be realized? Or is it like worse than that?
I mean, I wouldn't compare it to Onrush because Onrush is a racing game. I would compare this closer to like a Rocket League.
Oh,
League's
okay,
way
I
better
see.
though, as far as a game goes. This is just you're in an arena smashing into each other. Because it's a PlayStation 5 game, and it's free for a lot of people, and the art style, it's kind of riffing off of Fortnite, so they're probably going to get a lot of younger audience playing this game.
Sure.
So the PS5's controller has a built-in mic that if you don't go into the settings and choose the default to be muted, and you turn on your PS5, the mic is always on. And there's a button on the controller where you can hit to mute it. You just have to know to do that, or to have either gone into your thing to say, by default, I want my controller to be muted. Which means when you get into an online match, there's a lot of people that have their mic on without knowing it. You're just hearing people like listening to music, or on a phone call with some kind of IT department about something. I don't know. I listened to this dude's entire conversation while we were smashing cars, I guess. Which is just kind of an interesting thing going forward, because this is going to be a thing on the PS5. I bet a lot of people aren't gonna know a mic that's always on this thing. What? I need to turn off myself? Like you feel like no matter what, for this entire console, you're gonna run into at least one person in every match who has the mic on. I also just don't get people who play multiplayer games have the mic on the whole time. I guess in the hopes somebody's going to talk to them, but they don't want to mute themselves until that happens. What do you do? Why are you okay with us just hearing you the whole time? What are you doing? I don't really get that, but
weird, man.
Anyway, yeah. Outside of playing multiplayer, which is like kind of its core thing, there's like this like challenge series that's almost kind of like narrative based. Like there is a bit of a story. You get one for free at the beginning. Like everyone gets this specific one where it's like the new up and comer is taking on kind of the veteran player in this, and you go through each mode battling them, and then you win at everything, and then the rest cost money to get into. I think you have to pay to get to them, so you only really get one.
Oh, okay.
There's a lot of microtransactions in this thing. Obviously, it's a free to play game. I'm really curious what the $70 version of this looked like.
I was gonna say, is it though? Because you were saying it's $70 if you don't have like PlayStation Plus or whatever, right?
You can't buy it right now.
Oh, you just can't at all?
I
Okay.
think you need Plus to get to it. Yeah,
Oh.
I'm pretty sure you can't buy it right now.
This
know.
kind of sounds like a
I
mess
wouldn't.
of a game.
The game itself is fine when you're in the arena. That can be kind of fun, but it's completely mindless. Like you're just gonna drive around and smash into people. You're not setting up any kind of combos really, because it's just everyone's gonna smash into one person. You're all gonna dogpile, and then eventually someone's just gonna kind of win that. There are different modes that I played on the offline version. I haven't done every kind of mode on the multiplayer version. Some of them just seem bad, like time trials, race around this circular ring, go to through our gates. That's not fun.
Yeah.
It is just Destruction Derby. It's on Plus, so if you have a PS5, try it out. It's got the controllers, the adaptive triggers, and it's got all that stuff and the dual sense. That part's always
cool.
exciting to see.
Yep.
I like that every time that happens. I don't know. It's free. I guess check it out.
Sure.
I'll probably try it. I'll probably dip my toe in here and there and just kind of see what's up.
Sure.
What is a good racing game is I played Star Wars Pod Racer Episode 1.
Okay, I was wondering why you just had written as Star Wars.
I also was wondering that, because the one Star Wars game.
Well, it's just it's shorthand.
They're
to
finally
myself.
branching out a little bit. It's nice to see.
So I played through most of Episode 1 Pod Racer
On what?
on the Xbox.
Okay.
This is, I guess, the Xbox One version that they've ported up to Xbox One, because it shows up in my Xbox One games.
Sure. Mm-hmm.
Some of those courses suck, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're just actually bullshit.
Sure. Yeah.
I can't tell you specifics because this game is hella old, and a lot of the courses and stuff just kind of blend together as, oh, this is the brown smudgy one, this is the snowy smudgy one,
Yeah.
this is the green smudgy one that has things that are supposed to be trees, I guess. And then obviously there's lava smudgy ones, but some of the tracks, they'll just have drops to your death, and you just have to know you have to be boosting to go off of them.
Yeah.
But there's no warning or anything. You just have to know that.
Yep.
You just have to be oh, around this corner, there's a thing that if I'm not going enough speed, I die. It's what are you doing?
Yeah, that's
I will
how
say,
that game was.
Yep.
It still plays fine though. It runs smooth. It's an old game, so it doesn't look great, but it runs smooth. I like that. You can upgrade your pod racer, and that's fun.
Mm-hmm.
But it's still a good game. Just some of those courses are completely obnoxious. I don't know. Yeah, everyone knows this game. One of the best Star Wars games, in my opinion.
It's one of the games that I haven't wanted to go back to, because I remember having a lot of fun with it, and I think seeing it again and playing it now would tarnish my memories of that. And I don't need to. Honestly, I don't need to go back and play it.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't have this nostalgia for this game because it existed in my life as it's the Star Wars game that's at my dentist. So I play one race, maybe 1.5 before I get called in, and then that's
Gotcha.
it. So I haven't had a ton of time with it, but I had briefly touched it.
Star Fox 64 was my dentist game. I owned this one.
Man,
so
what's up with you guys dentists actually having games?
Right.
Mine had CNN or Home Garden Network or whatever the equivalent was back then.
Okay.
My orthodontist had Pokemon Snap. That was my orthodontist game.
That's pretty neat.
That one was good.
No other doctor I've ever had anything else. That was cool.
Did you guys ever? I would remember when we would go to Banff, the McDonald's there. They had Wave Racer.
Okay.
On the GameCube. I think that was it. I think there was another one, but I don't remember what the other one had. But I played Wave Racer at that McDonald's pretty regularly. I would go to Banff for the day.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah, so that's Star Wars Episode 1 Pod Racer. I'm waiting for that sequel.
Yeah.
So hopefully that comes sooner or later.
What, Episode 2 Pod Racer? They made that.
No, Star Wars Episode 1 Pod Racer 2.
Yeah, no, they made that.
Did they?
Yeah, it's on the PS2. It's called Episode 1 Racer Revenge.
I didn't know this was real.
Yeah,
better?
this is a real thing.
Is it just the same thing again, or is there like a
Yeah,
narrative?
You're
that
older
continues on?
Anakin. A bunch of the characters come back. I think I remember the controls being tighter,
Okay.
but I think it was a bit faster because PS2 instead of N64.
I
But
mean,
I
how
think it
much
also had
faster?
I
'Cause
think it also had
I
an
broke
arcade.
1,000 miles an hour with the one dude last night, and that was pretty
I
fast.
think it had an arcade machine too. I
Huh.
don't know. I don't remember it being as like obviously it was not nearly as well advertised because I never even learned about it until I got heavy into collecting.
Sure, yeah. Did pod racing show up in the other movies when he grew up at all?
I
Was
think it's
there
in
a
the
brief little
background
thing?
of like whenever they go back to that planet once. That's about it.
Okay.
There's
all right,
never another pod racer race. That was basically there just to show how good their CG was.
right. I, here now I'm just remembering when I was a young kid,
Hmm.
episode 1 had just come out. I don't know what this was for. I think it was a commercial. My mom brought me to a casting agent because they were trying to get a kid for a commercial that dealt with pod racing, and they gave me, in my audition, they gave me a VHS tape
Okay.
that was supposed to be the steering wheel, and they were like, all right, pretend you're in a pod racer. So I just like goofed around, did not get the role.
Oh no.
I have no idea what happened. Nothing. That's the extent of my story.
And now you're here
I
talking
bet
to
you weren't.
us rather than being
And now
famous.
now look at me now.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah, you broke the Star Wars curse. Thank God you didn't get in that commercial.
All right, that's all I've been playing. What's some news?
break though. That could have been his big break.
That could have been my big break.
Could have
He
been.
could have been a contender.
Yeah. Now I'm here. Well. Mass
That's
Effect. We
sad
got a
right there.
release date on the Legendary Edition. It's coming May 14th.
Sure.
There's a bunch of preview coverage out there. That first one looks really nice now. They are not just porting it; they are significantly like reworking that game.
God rays.
Kind of makes me want to like play the first one again, but also like I don't want to go through that trilogy again.
Oh, I'm definitely going through that trilogy again. I'm just not doing any of the Mako shit.
I'm trying to figure out if it's worth me waiting for this now at this point, or if I should play the originals.
You should wait for this.
Oh, you should
Probably
wait.
Yeah.
Should definitely wait. Yeah, this would be a great time to get in. Like I've been seeing tons of screenshot comparisons between like 1 and the new version of 1, and it looks so much better.
It's amazing how much just like lighting changes how something looks in gaming. Like it's really crazy, the difference.
And then on top of that, so they're bringing a bunch of the DLC, but not all of it. Obviously, they're not bringing any of the multiplayer from Mass Effect 3, which is kind of a bummer. That was like
That was fun.
a horde mode. It was actually pretty fun.
Yeah.
Also, one of the first times I encountered like microtransactions in like a multiplayer game was Mass Effect 3. I think I actually bought some. Yeah.
Oh wow.
You know,
Okay.
like
because
a
they had like a
pack.
card system or something, right?
There's a card system that you like equipped. Yeah, it was
You equipped
microtransactions
perks.
as we know it now, but it was one of the first times I had encountered it in a game.
Yeah, you equipped different perks for your different like Vanguard or what are the other ones?
Exactly.
Scion or whatever builds or
Whatever it was. Yeah. Anyways, one of the chunks of DLC not coming because the source code has been lost apparently.
which one?
This is Pinnacle Station.
Oh, who
I'm trying to
cares?
think which
That's
game
fine.
was this a part of. I think it must have been the first or the second one because it was inside of the second one when I started paying attention. The first game's Pinnacle Station.
Yeah.
It was like a weird kind of challenge room. It was like multiplayer without actually being multiplayer.
It was combat missions.
Yeah.
Like who cares?
And they
It
basically
wasn't that
said,
great.
the source code has been corrupted. It would take another like full 6 months for the team to get this going if we wanted to put it back in. And I guess they chose not to.
Listen, as long as that Prothean or whatever is in there, that's all you need because that motherfucker.
That's from 3, I'm sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
Everything else is going to be in there, and that's good. I can't remember much of Mass Effect 1's DLC. 2 and 3 have some great DLC. Specifically 2 has some really
2
cool
had-
DLC.
Was 2 the one with just like the party in the Citadel?
That's 3. That's the
3?
final DLC.
That's
when they're
the
saying
best
like,
DLC
goodbye.
they've ever done. Like,
I put that on a game of the year list one year.
did you? That
is
makes
some
sense. It's one of the best things they've
extremely
done.
good DLC. Oh, it's so good.
But it only hits if you've actually like played the series, unfortunately.
Yeah, and more should do that. Like, you get to say goodbye to everyone and then have like a cool party.
It was cool.
2 had like the Shadow Broker. That was awesome too.
Oh my god. I just realized that I was about to say something that could be a spoiler. Yes, it had the Shadow Broker. You're right.
Yeah. So.
I didn't realize that the DLC for this game was done by a different company. It says the Pinnacle Station expansion was not developed by BioWare, like much of the franchise, but by the Boston-based Demiurge Studios.
I don't know what that is. I'm wondering if that's just like the other BioWare studio in Austin, because don't they have 2?
No, these guys worked on Mass Effect Pinnacle Station, BioShock, Rock Band, Country and Metal Track Packs,
Oh yeah.
Borderlands 1, Green Day Rock Band, Shoot Many Robots, Sega Heroes, Marvel Puzzle Quest, Dark Rain. Looks like
Weird. I have no idea what this is.
yeah.
Anyway, I just talked myself into playing some more Mass Effect, and I don't have the time for that. All right, moving on to another sci-fi shooter. Apex is coming to Switch March 9th. And because it will be a whole month into the current season, everyone who kind of gets in on the Switch version will get 30 free Battle Pass levels. So,
Okay.
there you go.
Sure.
I'll probably check it out just to see how that runs. No cross saves mean I'm not starting a whole new, profile on the Switch that will have to be erased eventually one day when they do add cross saves in. But I am curious to see how that game runs on the Switch for sure.
Sure, yeah.
This next news was crazy to me.
This is fucked
I'm
up.
so shocked it happened. This is so weird.
Yeah.
Google Stadia has shut down their internal game development studios.
I am shocked.
This is fucking
Absolutely
crazy.
shocked.
I feel so bad for Jade Raymond, man. Like, Jesus, that sucks.
But, okay, John, I know you're being facetious, but did you honestly think it would happen this soon?
Yes.
Oh, okay. I would assume it would have taken a bit longer. That's why I'm actually shocked.
I gave Stadia 2 years at the most. So actually,
this would have been their second year. Right?
Oh, then yeah, never mind. This was on par with what I expected then.
I think this is their second year.
Google does this every time. If a project doesn't just take off like YouTube, they fucking just bury it. And the fact that like I saw so many posts going around, and you'll probably delve into this in a minute. Just like when did they made these studios when they announced Stadia, like the same year that Stadia was supposed to come out was the year they made the studios, right? Like there's no way they were going to get a AAA game out in that time frame. That's pushing your luck to the max.
Yeah, I don't know exactly when the studios were formed. They could have been formed earlier, but I can't think of any I don't think any games ever came out of Stadia Games and Entertainment, which is the name. You'll see Stadia G&E.
Yeah.
I can't think of any games that were developed from there. There's a pretty good article on Kotaku from Steven Totilo. I saw that's where the news broke first, where he kind of talks about what was going on. It sounds like it was just completely underfunded. Nobody was really focusing on it. He compared it to think of it like Amazon, but without the resources. So it sounds like nobody just cared about Stadia whatsoever.
Yep. Yeah, that's why I'm not shocked this happened. It sucks for the people involved in the company. I feel bad for the people that basically lost their job out of nowhere, but this was like one of those situations where it's always the case with Google. This always happens.
Yeah, I'm still surprised it happened this quick because, like I said, at least get a game out.
Well, that's the thing is that they didn't even fucking
18
try. Like that's the surprising part. I think they didn't even try. I wonder if it's because COVID was just like, okay, timeline's fucked, COVID fucked us, let's just cut it now. It's like, I don't know.
Well, you'd think with I don't know if I agree with that because I know gaming's had a huge surge You would think like, hey, let's enjoy this. Let's do it.
And if all companies that would be able to have a work from home setup, you'd think Google would be one of them.
Well, Google, but
They
not
they
Google's
definitely do.
Stadia
Like,
division. They obviously didn't care about this company.
I mean,
That's
yeah,
why
they
they're
obviously
shutting
didn't
it.
care, and like I'm not surprised to hear that they were underfunded at all, not even remotely.
and,
Totally.
like, the writing
you'd
was in
think
this.
they would be.
Writing was in the sand. You looked at Chromecasts getting announced that didn't support Stadia. It's like, what?
Yeah.
What are you doing?
Yeah, for sure.
It's weird. Stadia, the platform, is going to continue. They said they're still going to be adding third-party games to it.
Of course, because the tech's there. Like, why would they just cut it? That's why I don't understand why it's like, just throw in another million or something, get one game out and try. But they don't want to do that. They don't give a shit. So, who knows, man?
Yeah. So company heads like Jade Raymond, who we know from like the Uncharted series a long time ago, whatever game she was working on, not going to happen. She's leaving the company. So I'm curious to see who picks up Jade Raymond, because she's a great writer, as we know.
Yeah.
Definitely weird. I don't like, who's going to keep playing Stadia. Like, why would you? Like, it's a sinking ship at this point. Get off. Do you move over to Luna if you're a Stadia diehard? Do you just go start playing on Luna? I don't know.
Oh, I don't know. Yeah, I have no idea.
I feel like at this point, like, it is Microsoft's, when it comes to game streaming, it is like Microsoft's game to lose. They have the strongest pitch. So like, if anyone's going to do it, it's going to be Microsoft.
Yeah. I mean, maybe. I'm looking at Jason Schreier's thing here. Like, he has an article about apparently
Stephen Totilo.
No, I'm looking at Jason Schreier's timeline
right
now.
Sorry.
He has an article on Bloomberg about the Amazon next CEO is gonna try to push gaming. So, like, maybe you do go to Luna, because it sounds like he's committed. So, who knows? I guess we'll see in a couple of years or whatever, right? Talk's cheap, as we've seen.
Bezos was keeping Luna down, and now it can finally thrive that he's out of there.
Yeah, he was holding it down, all right.
Our next story here, IO Interactive has basically said that they are working on Hitman 3 DLC, which is kind of surprising because they made a pretty big thing of saying this is the end of the World of Assassination trilogy. We're wrapping it up. I'm assuming after they made bank on Hitman 3, after a week, they said, maybe we should make some more Hitman. People seem to be interested in Hitman right now.
Yeah.
So they basically said a lot of the DLC is going to reimagine existing locations from all three games. Cautiously optimistic. In one way, that sounds like a lazy way to make some DLC, but maybe they're going to do some cool stuff. I wouldn't put them past them to do some cool stuff. They have a lot of cool levels.
I mean, I'm going to trust them, but that statement you made of them, like, maybe just re-looking at some of the things they've done is like, oh, okay.
I agree with you. I feel like they've earned our trust.
Yeah, I mean,
they haven't like short
until they break that trust. I'm in, I guess. Sure.
And the quote is, we're continuously working on Hitman, so we are already looking toward the future. So more Hitman is coming. Glad to hear it. I was just playing Hitman before we started this.
Cool.
Right, these next news stories are from Discord. I don't know them as well, but the big vampire lady from Resident Evil 8 is 9'6" tall.
Yeah. This is a meme more than it is news, but sure. That is out there. What the news is, how every other company has jumped in onto the meme.
What?
Have you seen all these? Like, all other game companies just being like...
I've seen them. Oh, believe me, I have seen them.
Okay. And like a whole bunch of articles by different sites or whatever just being like things that the tall lady could grab off the top shelf. And this is like, it's been really good for the memes.
Somebody wrote in, I'm going to put this in our chat. Somebody sent this into the Twitter as, I guess, news.
Okay.
The
Oh,
Xbox
yeah, I
Series
still have
Oh
that.
god.
Xbox Series X is 11.9 inches tall. Mario is 3 feet 8 inches tall. The Xbox Series X fridge is 5'8", and then Vampire Lady is 9'6".
Sure.
Thanks for sending that in.
It's important news. I needed to know that.
This next one I've been kind of looking at and just being like, you know what, that makes a lot more sense now. I guess.
Nintendo replacing its multiplayer server system that is almost 2 decades old.
Yeah. There's clarification on this as well. The code is 2 decades old. Nintendo has only been using it for 10 years.
Yeah.
I don't exactly know what to like look at this. I don't know what the typical lifespan is for multiplayer systems. Like if you told me Microsoft was on an old one, I would say okay.
Microsoft was on an old one until like they remember when they patched out original Xbox support. That's when they upgraded Xbox Live.
Okay.
So every
yeah.
time they patch out the previous gen's systems, that's when they upgrade. So yeah, no, they've been using the same setup for Xbox Live for a while.
Might just be like the cynic in me, but I hear okay, they're upgrading the multiplayer systems. Do I still need to use friend codes? Do? Oh, okay. Well, then I guess it's going to be the same user experience. Thank you, Nintendo.
Yeah, didn't they say that they were going to get rid of them with this gen, and they still haven't?
Still got friend codes. They still got like in-game friend codes, so you gotta like double up if you want to be my Animal Crossing friend. Like okay. Hopefully it'll run smoother once I've jumped through 9 hoops.
Yeah. This one tweet about that a dude put out, Splatoon 2 version has an unused function to see if it's running on Windows 98. It's just really funny. I love when data miners find shit like that. It's really good.
Yeah.
For what it's worth, I have played the Monster Hunter Rise demo, which is apparently one of the first things to use their new system for multiplayer. And the multiplayer worked flawlessly in it. So I don't know what that means, but because the multiplayer has also worked good in other Nintendo games in the past before, it's just that the way they make you do friend stuff is usually terrible.
Yeah, that's kind of my point. Is I don't like look at Nintendo as like, oh, I get lag in every single game. No, that's definitely not the case. It's just I'm tired of all the like weird security issues you guys are running things through.
Sure.
A quote came out of Nintendo saying there's not going to be a Nintendo Switch Pro anytime soon.
Well, rip our predictions from the Game of the
Guess
Year
so.
thing, I guess.
I hear that the 3D World port runs pretty poorly on the Switch.
Right.
Unfortunately, that's what I've been hearing.
Wow, how?
Like I straight up heard Bowser shows up in Bowser's Fury, things slow down.
Hmm.
Docked.
Oh, no.
So I mean, that was just one preview. I don't know. So I'll wait to. I'm curious what you guys are gonna say, but I would not be surprised if the Switch was starting to get long in the tooth.
Yeah.
I want that Pro model.
Yep.
Long in the tooth. It hasn't even been 3 years. Ooh, has it?
Yeah,
How long
it'll
has the
be
Switch been out?
4 this year.
Oof, yeah, 2017.
And last news story is that Gearbox got purchased by one of those mega companies that you never hear about for $1.3 billion.
Okay. Swedish holding firm Embracer Group, apparently, is who bought them.
Formerly THQ Nordic AB. This is also the company that purchased THQ Nordic, Saber Interactive, Koch Media, a bunch of other ones I haven't heard of. Yes, Coffee Stain Holding. Everyone knows that company.
Yeah.
It's $1.3 billion.
Jeez.
So, congrats to Randy Pitchford. Buy himself another car. Yes.
I'm going to sneak one other thing that happened today, and the founder and CEO of Bethesda passed away.
Oh, I wasn't aware of that.
Robert Altman, founder and CEO. And there's a nice message about him on the Bethesda Twitter. It's quite long, so I'm not going to read it here. But their thing that they put out was, "We're deeply saddened to tell you of the passing of Robert Altman, our founder and CEO, true visionary, friend, and believer in the spirit of people and the power of what they could accomplish together. Extraordinary leader, even better human being." So yeah, rest in peace to him.
From what I understood, I think I saw on Twitter is it was very well liked in the company. So.
Yeah, just from what I've like quickly read in this thing, skimming it before deciding if I was going to read the whole thing or not. Apparently he was the type of person to just like reach out to his employees during the pandemic regularly and just being like, "Hey, like, everybody safe? Everybody okay?" And
right on.
stuff like that. So it's a shame when good people pass away, but yeah, that sucks.
And now the impossible transition to wacky questions.
Woohoo!
If you would like to send in a question or a wacky question, it's topdownperspective@gmail.com. Just make sure you put wacky in the subject line so we can delete it first.
Promptly, yeah.
Wow.
Promptly.
Yeah.
At TDP Podcast on Twitter, the Discord channel, or John's P.O. Box. Yeah, it's only serious questions here. Only the most serious questions about serious topics. Like, your favorite sandwich, which is a question later down the road.
Sure. All right, we have episode names from VGC Kenny. You guys ready? Let's do it.
Yep.
Probably not.
Okay. Where do we start? Oh, we're still in 2020 here. Okay, so December 3rd, 2020, Gal Gadot made Fez 2.
You can't just say that, man.
Welcome
You
back.
can't just say shit like that.
Yeah, welcome back. Episode title, December 3rd, Gal Gadot made Fez 2. I mean, I don't know.
I'm
This
assuming
has been
this was
referring
around
to the new Wonder Woman movie, right?
I came out Christmas, so I'm assuming this was around the time they announced that all those movies were just gonna come on HBO Max for free.
But what's
The
the
only reason I
Fez
could think
2
she would come
connection? Like, I understand why she would come up around that time, but like, what is it about Fez 2?
Well, Gal Gadot, noted Fez fan. I have no idea.
Did she say she was canceling something? We made fun of Phil Fish for it, or
Not that I remember.
Game Awards, maybe? Because wasn't this around Game Awards time? She was a presenter there, wasn't she?
She was a presenter at Game Awards.
You know what? Maybe it was something like that.
Okay.
It was something to do with that, yeah.
Context was talking about how Gal Gadot was going to appear at the Game Awards. Sean gave this explanation as to why.
Ah, there we go.
All right, good enough. All right, December 11th. Horny's necessary sometimes. This has to be 13 Sentinels. You and me talking about it.
Right.
This seems too early for tall vampire lady, so
Way too early.
This is just every week, Like that's just
Like kind of.
That's my bumper sticker
it's
says
just
that.
horny. It's
Yeah.
just horny.
That's just how it works. I bet Paul's right.
Yeah, because you were saying, is it necessary for them to be naked? And I was just like, well, I mean, there's a story reason for it or whatever. And I think you were saying something like horny's necessary sometimes or something like that.
I think you said that. I don't think I said that.
I definitely would have said that.
Yeah.
Sean was weirded out by the fact that people were naked in the robots in 13 Sentinels. He said it was a bit horny, and Paul responded with this. All right, I think we got that one pretty much right on.
Yeah.
Okay, December 17th, the most John Wheeler sentence. Now, I don't remember what it is, but I do remember this. Like, I don't remember specifically what the sentence was.
Did I say this?
Yes.
Yes, you said this to me. I remember you saying this.
Okay.
And it was because...
I'm just trying to think. Okay, let's workshop. What would be out of nowhere? What would be the most John Wheeler sentence?
No, it's an Arnold thing.
You start.
It's 100% an Arnold thing, and I'm trying to remember what it is.
Are you telling me that the most John Wheeler sentence is "I'll be back"?
No. It's because you were asking what the reindeer were, and the only reason John knows it is because he has to. I just had in my head him reciting it as Arnold on the show. That's what it is.
Yeah.
It's 100%.
No,
Reindeer.
I learned how to say the order of the reindeer: Dasher, Dancer, Prancer, Vixen, Comet, Cupid, Donner,
Because
Blitzen,
of
from
Arnold.
Jingle All the Way.
Yep.
Because Arnold runs down the street and quotes it. And I did a small Arnold impersonation, like the dots of project, and that you were like, that's the most John Wheeler sentence ever.
So that's what I was trying to remember,
correct.
what you were saying, and then as soon as I got the cadence in my head, I was like, okay, that's what it is. Yeah. Context.
You're right, yep.
John explained the reason he knows the names of the reindeers because Arnold says to them in Jingle All the Way. Sean said this in response. All right. December 24th, eat the guillotine.
Eat the guillotine?
Eat the guillotine.
This is Christmas Eve.
I think this is us mixing Eat the Rich and pull out the guillotine together, but why did we do that?
Stonks haven't happened yet, so it wasn't that.
No.
John, I don't think you were here for this. This is the one you came late to, I think.
Oh, okay, yeah, then I probably would not have heard this.
Eat the guillotine. What were rich people doing at this time?
Something shitty.
What weren't they doing?
Yeah, true.
I have no idea. I'm trying to think. Like, it was Christmas. I was at my dad's house. I have no idea.
I don't either. Context. Frustrated about rich people. I think it was Cyberpunk shareholders, and Sean said, eat the rich or break up the guillotine. John combined them. It doesn't even say what we were frustrated about. It says, I think it was Cyberpunk shareholders. So
it was probably because that post that went out where they were talking about how they rushed the game because shareholders thought they could do it.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
That's more than likely.
May have also been like when they were like throwing QA under the bus or something. I don't know. There was a whole bunch of Cyberpunk.
It probably was that.
Cyberpunk every week back in December.
31st of December. The corporate ladder of deities.
The corporate ladder of deities.
Yeah, I actually have no idea.
I was still back in Calgary.
This was related to a question about what god would we be or something like that in Greek mythology.
Oh,
I remember we were talking about Zeus specifically.
Okay, yeah.
And then we were trying to figure out demigods and stuff like that.
Does it have something to do with Hades at all? Would we have been talking about Hades?
I don't think so. I don't think any of us were like playing it around that point, right?
I do remember something about what god you would be or something. I do remember something similar.
Yeah, that part sounds familiar.
Yeah. It must just be a question like that, and then there was some wise crack about it. Okay, context is...
Immortals. It has something to do with Immortals, I bet.
Oh, maybe. You got a question about which mythical being you would you Santa Claus. Paul explained he would become Santa to get the sleigh to run over. Oh, right. If you... Because in the Santa Claus, you become Santa by, like, killing them, right? Yeah, so, like, what god would you kill to become them?
Oh, yeah, we were talking about how to kill Zeus, and we're like, there's a lot of chances to kill Zeus, because you just keep turning yourself into random animals to just have sex with things.
Where does the corporate ladder part come from? Was it just something like climbing the corporate ladder? Like, are we continuously...
Because my answer was, I'm going to become Santa Claus, and then run over Zeus with the reindeer.
Oh,
to climb the corporate ladder. Yeah.
Got it. Yeah.
So stupid.
So dumb.
January 7th. Game of the Year show. Who Guessed Pandemic is the title.
You know, if I could just say, so dumb, people pay money for this. Just putting that out there.
They don't, though.
Do.
They pay money for the other one.
That's both. I feel like it's both.
Yeah.
Can't have one without the other.
Okay.
No, it's otherwise the other one's just plus.
I mean, they better be paying money for the other one. There's a whole bit about they can't be listening to that for free.
Yeah, we spent how long on that last episode?
Way too long.
Way
too long.
Yeah.
And
that's
if people want to know how long, you need to pay and listen to it. Game of the Year show. Who Guessed Pandemic is the title.
That Sean definitely said that.
Said that it was predictions, and I said, okay, who had pandemic?
Yeah, that's probably what it was.
Yeah. Yeah, that's exactly what it is. Sean starting off predictions with a bit of dark humor. Okay, January 14th. Please stop high-fiving me.
What if the
I remember this bit. I'm just trying to remember what the fuck it was for. It was like some weird, like, awkward bro thing. Just like high five bro or whatever. I think it was to do with horniness again.
Oh no, it's
I think
was-
this was because it's tall lady.
I know exactly what it is.
Okay.
But go ahead if you want to guess.
No, no, Sean, go for it.
Yeah, go for it.
We were talking about like sexy visual novels or
Yes!
something. It was games you don't want to play with other people.
Yeah.
And we brought up like a visual novel because there's always like a horny part.
There's like high five.
And then it ended up being like a dick joke. Yeah.
Yeah, I remember that. Ugh. Okay. When asked about what games are worse with others, Sean brought up visual novels and some of their misogynistic tendencies. Paul said it'd be one of those instances the two readers would high-five each other and Sean would feel uncomfortable about that.
Yeah.
All right, and January 21st, tell me the lore of your sidewalk.
I said that to Sean because Sean was talking about hypothetical sidewalk situations with getting like work done. I forget what we were comparing it to exactly.
It was Mario Maker levels, if those counted as like a mod, or if they counted it. No, they counted as fan fiction.
Yep,
and
you're
I was
right.
Like, and I was comparing that to what if I was, renovating my sidewalk.
Like what makes something fan fiction lore? Like tell me the lore about your side. Yeah, it's in that conversation somewhere.
Yep.
Context was someone asked if Mario Maker levels were fan fiction. Sean tried to extrapolate that into is remodeling my sidewalk fan fiction. John asked him the lore aspect of doing so. All right, thank you again, VGC Kenny, for writing.
I think we got like all but one we guessed correctly.
That was pretty good. Yeah,
we got pretty close on like all of them except one. One of them just no idea, I guess.
You didn't know. All right, I'll read this first question from Rasterman. It says, "What is approximately a record number of movies watched in a day?"
Okay. This is a little bit cheating, kind of. I watched all 3 extended versions of the Lord of the Rings films, and those are, like, extremely long, so I don't know if you count that as, like, 4 or 5 movies, or, like, 3 movies.
3 gigantic movies.
Yeah.
I think my number's probably 3. I can't even think of, like, a scenario. I've definitely done 2, because I've, like, double featured stuff at the theaters, but I want to say, like, renting movies I've watched... Oh, no, I've definitely done 3. I watched all of Men in Black one night.
I'm gonna look up the extended length. So
yeah, 3 for me as well, because I watched all. I used to in university watch all the Die Hards while I was doing work, so I had 3 Die Hard movies.
Sure.
I'm gonna change my answer. It is 5. When Fast 5 came out, we watched all 4 of them, and then went to the midnight release of Fast 5.
Okay, that's a lot.
Yeah.
So 11 hours and 45 minutes for those 3 movies, I feel counts as more than 3.
That is definitely more than 3 movies.
Yep.
Those extended editions, I will say, they're cool. There's a reason why they're cut down. They are too long. They are much too long.
I remember falling asleep in theaters watching the final one. I was just like, please. Please.
I fell asleep in Pirates of the Caribbean 4.
I could also see that happening, yeah.
Sure.
You guys see that the IMAX account, I don't know if this is in Canada, I'm sure it's in the States. They're bringing the Lord of the Rings IMAX to IMAX for the first time, I think today.
Oh, good. During a pandemic.
Yeah, thanks. Great. I saw one response. It was like, I just looked, the closest open IMAX to me is in Colorado Springs. I live in Phoenix. Right, follow-up question. What about a week? I don't know if I could guess a week.
I mean,
it might still be 3.
Okay, fish fair.
I'm going to say 6, because I probably watched a movie the following weekend. That's all I can probably guess.
Like 1 a day, you're thinking?
I'm thinking like when I did those 5, I probably watched a movie the following weekend, like 1 movie.
Oh, I see what you mean. Uh-huh.
My guess is 6.
I've probably done like 7 to 10, like 1 a day, with a couple extra in there when I watch movies more than I do now.
The next one is month. And this is when it ends. We're not going to
still
keep doing
free.
this.
Yeah, no, I don't. I'm not
wanna
even
say
going to
mine,
bother. I have no idea.
It's probably a 7 or 8.
I've definitely never watched a movie a day for a month. So less than
Never
30.
done that. I have, however, rented a video game from Blockbuster every day,
Same.
if not twice a day for a month.
You were part of that program, right? Where you just paid a month for like unlimited access.
Yeah, whatever the game thing
Hell
was.
yeah, man.
And I was, it was a summer break, and I went there every day, and the person was like, "You took advantage of this more than any other customer."
Yep.
Bonus meta question: can you guess the record number of questions sent in by a single person for a podcast episode? No.
Nope.
I saw the answer to this accidentally when I was pulling the question because he wrote it in the same thing.
Okay, what's the answer?
Why does he know this?
It was 50 something by Dedinsky because
It's him.
Huh?
Did we answer 50 questions from one guy in one question?
No, because he used to write. Remember a long time ago, even before I was on the show, you would get emails. One of the first people ever writing it in was a guy named Thomas. That's him. That's Dedinsky. So he's like.
And is that 50 in one episode?
I mean, I can't look at what the actual answer is now because I'm broadcasting.
I don't think they meant
it's in the Discord.
Sent in by a single person for a podcast episode. Maybe we answered all 50 as a joke. I don't remember that.
Okay, 52.
2012. Never mind. Yeah, they sent 52 in for one episode. One for each week, I guess.
Right. I don't remember this, but it was also 9 years ago.
That's fair.
Yep. Are we in the next question? Okay.
John, you want to take this next one?
Mine. Okay. I got this one. Lineback writes in and says, what would you say are your most used Simpsons quotes? $20 can buy many peanuts.
You say that on the regular?
Somewhat. It's come up like at least 3 times this past month.
Okay.
Dental plan, Lisa needs braces comes up a lot.
That one gets stuck in my head, but I don't say it out loud. But periodically, that will play in my head. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't quote it a lot. My girlfriend didn't ever watch Simpsons, so they would just be lost on her.
I got an answer.
Yeah, go.
Maybe it's the beer talking, Marge, but you got an ass that won't quit. They got these pretzels here and $5. Get out of here. That was in my wife's wedding vows to me. Reese wrote that in her wedding vow.
Nice. That's great. That's a good story.
Answer. That's the actual answer.
That's a great answer.
I
was just gonna say like Heidely Ho.
Yeah.
And it looks like I'm wearing nothing at all.
Yeah, Stupid Sexy Flanders is probably one.
Lately, we've been quoting Family Guy for some weird reason. We keep quoting that bit about a boat. It's like
it could be anything. It could even be a boat.
Even be a boat.
Yeah.
Not much we wanted one of those. We've been just randomly quoting that.
Yeah,
sure.
That is like the line from Family Guy for sure. Weirdly.
All right, there's a follow-up, John.
All right.
Need to look up what this is.
Follow-up question. Which humongous entertainment character would you add to Smash Ultimate? For those who don't know, that's like Putt Putt.
Oh, that shit. Yeah.
That stuff. I would say Putt Putt.
It's Putt Putt, for sure.
Was it not Pajama Sam?
Because I've never played a Pajama Sam.
That's the most well-known one.
That would be like the most unique because they're just a car with like extendo arms and shit.
Because fuck Pajama Sam.
Sure.
That's why.
And Spy Fox is literally just like snake.
I feel like Pajama Sam is the most likely.
I didn't know that this like group of characters had like. I guess it makes sense that they were under a brand of some sort. I just didn't know what it was.
Yep, that's Humongous Entertainment. So yeah, I'm sticking with Putt Putt.
Yep, Putt Putt's the answer for sure. Suku. If you were in a video game, what would your one-up item be?
Sandwich.
Okay. What type of sandwich?
Isn't this just what's your favorite food?
Well, no, that you could, because most people would say like the 1-up item is, or the healing item is your favorite food.
Yeah, that's true.
Oh, well, okay. Then what is the criteria for the 1-up item?
Mine would just
I mean, it does
be
have
a middle
somewhere.
finger icon, just like floating.
Okay,
Mine
just
would probably
something.
be, mine would be like an extra controller.
Sure.
Okay. Um, it would be the Pikachu meme face where it's like,
Oh, that's pretty good. That's pretty good.
That works too.
Yeah.
Choice.
I'll take that. VGC Kenny writes, does Sean not like old games? I like some old games. No, he doesn't usually go back to games, but a good game should still be able to hold up without modern updates.
So to add on to this, the question also included stuff like you went back to Burnout, you're just like, it's kind of not very good. You're like, Scott Pilgrim sucks, even though you always talked about how much you liked it before. So like,
I still think Scott Pilgrim is the best movie tying game. That's a low bar. You have to keep it in mind. That is a low bar. So like you do anything quasi, what's another one? But don't say X-Men Origin Wolverines.
That's the answer.
That's the second best one. That's the second best one. Yes, I agree with you. Still a low bar. There's two good ones.
There's probably others. I don't know. I can't think of any others right now off the top of my head, even. But
does Prince of Persia: Forgotten Sands count only because they came out around the movie time, even though it is not? No.
I still don't think it would be on the same level.
Some old games are good. They just, if they have a lot of like kind of old mentality, much like Scott Pilgrim and Burnout Paradise Remastered, the examples you gave, and then they're not updating anyway, it's like they're hard to play, like, because you get used to more modern style of game, more modern controls, yada yada, and it gets hard to go back to them. For example, like Burnout Paradise, not having like a fast travel around when so many really good racing games have added that in for open world games, it feels dated. So they become more of like a time and place thing.
The Mummy Demastered is the right answer, by the way, because that game's better than that movie. That it's based on.
I need to play that one. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
Follow-up. When recommending something, how many caveats is too many caveats?
2 and over.
3.
Yeah.
I think 3.
Yeah.
3 like major things. At that point, if there's that many caveats, the person I'm recommending this game to has to like really be into like one specific part of this game.
True.
Yeah.
I still think 2 is on the line, but I think 2 caveats is still okay. But it's on the line.
2 would be like, at this point, you're like, you're maybe you're gonna tolerate it at best.
Yeah, for sure.
And last question from VGC Kenny. Congratulations, you're the 1 millionth customer at your local sandwich shop. As part of your reward, you get to make a sandwich that will be on the menu from now on. First part, what do you put on it for real? So what's your favorite sandwich?
This is just a standard sandwich or like a Subway sandwich? Because there is a different answer for both.
No, they're going to make you a sandwich. Yeah, I'd say either. What's your favorite sandwich, basically, right?
It's probably pretty basic. Probably like chicken, little bit of mayo, mustard, salt, pepper, lettuce, tomato, onion, pickle.
Kind of bread.
Maybe like a brioche bun. Let's do like kind of a middle
this is
sort of thing.
Complicated answer than I expected.
Man, sandwiches are serious business.
Like it's probably just like a chicken BLT item. Essentially.
Okay. Sure. Like chicken breast or like sliced chicken.
Whatever this shop does, it would be okay. I would prefer like the chunks maybe, or like shredded chicken, but you can, if they only have slices, that's okay, I guess.
John, tell us about your steak sandwich. No, I usually get like chicken sandwiches, so I'll get like a BLT style. So grab some lettuce, tomato, cucumber,
sure,
some sub sauce, some chicken on there. Add some bacon, on like whole wheat style, just something like that. Nice and simple.
I kind of hate that we have the same answer. Oh well.
Also, I'll go different.
Yeah,
I'll go
you
different.
go
This isn't my
different.
favorite one, but I really like this one recently.
Yeah.
My mom made me this when I was up north, and then I came down. I told my girlfriend about it, and she's like, "Well, then I will buy a panini press, and we will make it." And we've done it twice now.
Okay.
So first off, you got a sliced sourdough bread.
Okay.
You're putting fig jam down,
Okay.
brie, the thick chunks chicken,
Okay.
Mhm.
sliced apple,
Ooh.
Okay.
and then you
Sure.
are pressing that, toasting
In a
that up.
panini press style. That is
Panini press.
that sounds good.
Man, it is so good. Holy smokes, it's so good. Try it. There you go.
That seems like it'd be okay.
And follow-up question: what would you put on it that would make the least amount of people order it, but you would still eat it?
Oh, good lord.
Same thing, but I'd
I don't
put
think I have
olives
answer
on it. I know people hate olives.
That would do it. Oh, I don't like olives. That would do it. I would not order your salmon.
I'm a picky eater. There's nothing I would put on there that would throw anyone away off of it like that.
Trying to think. I don't really like a lot of like really weird out there. You could make it probably pretty spicy, and I'd still go for it. So maybe that's my answer.
How do you feel about like sauerkraut?
I'm not a huge sauerkraut fan, or
I
like
do like
horseradish. Kimchi. I'm not a big fan of that either.
Okay.
I think the only thing you could do is just make it really spicy, and I would still go for it.
Mm.
All right, there you go.
All right. Next one from Junkie GS. What are some general and niche video game opinions where when you hear someone say, you go, yep, I trust this person's judgment, or they are a good opinion haver?
Viva Pinata was ahead of its time. I will listen to you now.
God Hand is a classic.
It is a classic. I trust this person's judgment. Ugh.
Should bring back Prince of Persia. Yep.
They should bring back Prince of Persia. I think most people actually agree with that, though, right?
Yeah.
I mean, they are bringing it back. Yeah. So,
Although
Although
like some weird life
yes, that's true.
that's holding that back.
No, it got delayed, but it's coming out in like March or
No, I
something.
mean
I
them doing Prince of Persia games often. I think there's some weird licensing issue that holds them back on that.
I don't quite remember exactly.
Yeah, and he does say some general and niche, so that's a good general one. They should bring Prince of Persia back. I'm trying to think of like really niche things specifically. I mean, a general one is that I trust people who like Hollow Knight, and I don't trust people that don't.
Wow.
I kind of just don't trust many people's opinion. So, like, unless I'm like friends with them, like I kind of just don't trust their opinion on something. So,
I feel like the perfect example of this, and I'm not one of these people, but it's like the group of people that are like, Far Cry 2 is the best game.
Far Cry 2 is the most interesting, but best is a really bad term, I think.
You just know what I mean. Like,
I do know what
I feel
you
like
mean.
there's definitely people that if they hear that, they're like, okay, I know exactly. Listened to the Idle Thumbs podcast. I know who you are.
Yeah. Also, I think a lot of people that say that do just get it secondhand and haven't actually played Far Cry 2.
Someone came to me and knew what the Aardman company was, I'd be like, you know good movies, and we should talk more.
Okay, fair enough. Last question. Calman.
Yep.
I just started my first full-time job this week. When you don't have a job surrounding gaming, how do you keep up with the hobby?
You're gonna have to start time managing. Like it might even be to the point where you need to like schedule like game time.
I remember. Okay, keep up with the hobbies in playing games or like the news.
Yeah, that's
news
kind
around
of. I'm kind of wondering the same thing because Like, I've worked full-time jobs. I've been tired as fuck, and I still played games. Like, I don't know. If you love it, you just do it. You don't have to keep up with it.
For news, I found when I was working an IT job, I basically would just go to a kind of aggregate site or like a site that with a lot of news coverage, like Giant Bomb. I would go to Giant Bomb, read the top news articles. If anything caught my eye, I'd read it. Otherwise, that was about it.
I want to say the majority would be playing games here. Is how do you fit like playing games in?
Yeah, you just find a way for it. If you have downtime, you just put it towards that. And if you don't, then you don't feel like it. It's not a big deal.
Yeah. It's supposed to be
It's
fun.
a hobby.
Yeah.
If you feel pressured to do a hobby, it's a job. So,
well, I mean, I think there are going to be some like trade-offs. Like if you used to be the big RPG person, probably not going to play as many RPGs as you used to.
Yeah, agreed.
Yeah, for sure.
And I know like definitely like going from like school to full-time job, you get a lot less free time than you used to have. I would often, I try to play games when I commute the train. So maybe you have to get into I don't, people aren't traveling right now, but maybe you have to get into mobile games. That I was able to play a lot more games when I started playing a lot of stuff on my phone.
I think people overlook how good mobile games actually are. Also, I think it's still kind of a joke to a lot of people. There's really great shit on mobile, for sure.
It's great, and it might not be the best place to play it, but it's like if you just want to get through like every Ace Attorney game, you can do that on the phone. And I did that, and that's a great way to do it. Like there are ways. Maybe you bring a Switch and you play at lunch.
Maybe you look into GeForce Now or Project xCloud or whatever, so you can play on your phone on whenever you are, whenever you have a moment.
Yeah, if you have like an Android phone, or if you work at a computer, you could. I definitely did GeForce at my computer at the office. That's another option. I do think that you're gonna have to like schedule things more. You're gonna have to like set aside time. Be like, okay, you know what? This Friday night, I wanna play games for 3 hours. Like, because those chunks aren't just gonna like appear, and then you got to kind of work towards getting that time available. And that's that's kind of life, man.
Yeah.
That's going to do it for questions. If you want to send in questions for next week, it's topdownperspective@gmail.com, at TDP Podcast on Twitter, the Discord channel, or John's P.O. Box. What's your game of the week?
Medium.
I guess Spell Bubble.
Mine is actually Apex Legends because there's a new season, so I've been playing a bunch of that.
Nice.
And that's going to do it for this week. Again, this month we are playing Cyber Shadow on the Patreon, so look forward to that episode at the end of the month. Last week we recorded our Call of the Sea episode, so if you want to check that out, please go do that over on the Patreon. Otherwise, we will see you guys next week.
Bye.
Bye, everybody.